So let's proceed naman sa example number 2. Determine the available shear strength and adequacy of an ASTM A992W610 by 92 beam loading shown in the strong direction. Strong direction. So, ibig sabihin na sa usual orientation yung beam natin. The axis of bending is at the x-axis or the major axis. Okay. So, for ASTM A992, the yield strength is equal to 345 megapascal. Okay. So, ang ginawa natin sa number 1 no, is we just tried to compute for the maximum shearing stress and then the average shearing stress. Para kahit pa paano is ma-review natin yung pagkuha ng shearing stress. Okay? And then dito naman, we will now check the adequacy of the section for shear. Okay, W610 by 92 yung beam natin. Okay, since we are verifying the adequacy of a certain beam, compute muna natin yung required shearing strength. Required shear strength. Okay, so ang gagamitin natin dito is LRFD and ASD ulit kasi wala namang binanggit kung ano yung load combination or yung design natin. Therefore, compute natin dalawa. Okay, so sa LRFD, again, magkakaroon tayo ng WU. Okay, take note guys, ang hinahanap natin dito is now the shearing force. Okay, so just a review. Yung sa flexure natin, or sa sige, i-start natin sa una. Sa tension and compression, ang hinahanap natin is the load P, di ba? Kinuha natin yung PU tsaka PA sa tension and compression. Tapos, nung nag-proceed na tayo sa flexure, ang hinahanap na natin dito is the moment, right? The MU tapos MA. Dito naman sa shear, design of members for shear, ang hahanapin na natin dito is the VU and VA or the shearing forces. Okay. So dito, ang meron tayo is the uniformly distributed load. So through the uniformly distributed load, mako-compute natin yung shearing forces by drawing the shear diagram. Okay. Kasi hindi pa natin makikita dito hindi pa natin mako-compute, hindi mo naman pwedeng i-add na lang basta-basta. Kasi sa LRFD, gagamit tayo ng mga tinatawag nating factor. So sa W, under LRFD, we have 1.2 of WD plus 1.6 of WL. Therefore, we have dead load natin is 72 plus 1.6 of 215. Therefore, we have 430.4 kilonewton per meter. Okay. So, ito na yung uniformly distributed load of our beam. After that, paano natin kukunin yung hinahanap natin na VU? By drawing the shear diagram. Pwede naman kayong mag-method of section. Wala namang problema dun. Okay. So, nandito na nga yung WU. This is equal to 430.4 kilonewton per meter. Simply supported tayo. Okay? So, nandito yung reactions natin. Let's say RA tapos RB. Okay. And distance natin or length is 6 meters. So, by taking the summation of moment at point P is equal to 0, clockwise positive. So, we have RA multiplied by 6 minus 430.4 multiplied by 6, moment arm 3 is equal to 0. Therefore, RA is equal to divided by 6. So, we have 1291.2. 1291.2 kilonewton. And then by taking the summation of forces vertically is equal to 0 upward positive RA plus RB minus 430.4 by 6 is equal to 0. RA 1291.2. Therefore, RB is equal also to 1291.2 kilonewton. Okay? Or kung kaya naman ng idirekta, why not? Kasi this is just a uniformly distributed load. Alam naman natin that the maximum shear will occur on the reaction, no? Alam naman natin yan. Kasi nabanggit ko din kanina, di ba, dito sa discussion natin, that the maximum shearing stress usually occurs at the support. So, kung ano yung makukuha mong reaction, yun na rin magiging maximum shearing force natin. Okay? So, this is now equal to, so saan galing tong illustration ko na to? By having the two guiding questions, diba? Is there any vertical force at this line? Yes, we have. That is 1291.2. Next, is there any area on the load diagram? Yes, we have 1291.2 minus 430.4 multiplied by 6. Di negative 1291.2. And then yung statement again natin, is there any vertical force at this point? Yes, we have RB. So negative 1291.2 plus 1291, we have 0. Okay. So kabisado nyo na yan, no? Alam nyo na yan pag drawing ng shear diagram. So yung V natin dito, or the VU now, is equal to 1291.2 kilonewton. Okay? So, yan yun sa LRFD. Paano naman sa ASD? Of course, same process. Okay, so WA, we have WD plus WL. So, yung dead load natin is 72 plus 215. Therefore, we have 72. 287. Okay, we have 287 kilonewton per meter. And then, drawing ulit natin yung beam natin. No? So, the loading now is equal to 287 sa ASD. This is 6 meters. Simply supported. Okay. So, RA tapos RB. Okay. So if we take the summation of moment at RA or RB is equal to 0, clockwise positive. So RA multiplied by 6 minus 287 by 6 by 3 is equal to 0. Therefore, reaction at A is equal to 861 kilonewton. So 861 kilonewton. Okay. Simply supported. So we can automatically assume that RA is just equal to RB. And it is equal also to 861 kilonewton. Okay. And then shear diagram, if we have a uniformly distributed load, ganun pa rin. Okay. This is 861 kilonewton and then this is negative 861. Okay. So as we can see on the illustration, the maximum shearing force VA is equal to 861 kilonewton. Okay. So nakuha na natin yung required shearing stress or shearing force. So under ASD 861 kilonewton. And then sa LRFD, we have 1291.2 kilonewton. Okay. So after this one, kailangan natin ng geometric properties of our section. Our section is W610 by 92. Okay, W610 by 92, the geometric properties. Okay. Punta kayo sa AISC, and then hanapin niyo yung geometric properties for W610 by 92. Okay, so nilista ko na kanina. Ilalagay ko na lang dito. Okay, so sa depth natin, we have 602 millimeters. The width of the flange, we have 179 millimeters. The thickness of the web, 10.9. Thickness of the flange, 15 millimeters. And then yung ating H, we have 5 to 7 millimeters. Okay. So this is now these are the geometric properties of W610 by 92. Okay, so proceed na tayo sa NSCP. So according to NSCP, we have two scenarios here, or two methods presented. First one is for section 507.2. If we do not have any post-buckling strength or hindi kailangan ng tension field action. And then yung other method is if we have yung tinatawag na tension field action. Okay. So, ang gagawin natin muna dyan to identify kung ano yung section na gagamitin natin is to compute if we need a transverse stiffeners na tinatawag. Okay. So, yung transverse stiffeners is located here. Meron tayong formula dito. Titignan natin if yung beam natin is kailangan ng transverse stiffeners. Kung mag-undergo ba siya ng excessive buckling, kaya kinakailangan natin ng transverse stiffeners or not. Okay, so yung transverse stiffeners natin, as I have told you a while ago, is yung mga vertical elements natin that will support yung web. So, titignan natin kung kailangan ba ng ano yung section? Kung kakailanganin ba ng W610 by 92 ng transverse stiffeners or not. Or kaya niyang mag-stand alone to support yung mga loadings natin. So, identify muna natin kung kailangan ba niya ng transverse stiffeners or not. Okay. So, based on the NSCP, we have here a formula. Transverse stiffeners are not required where HL over TW is lesser than or equal to 2.46 square root of E all over Fy, or where the required shear strength is less than or equal to the available shear strength provided in accordance with section 507.2.1. Okay. So, hindi daw kailangan ng transverse stiffeners if na-satisfy itong equation na to. Or, pwede naman natin na i-compute muna yung 507.2.1, which is this one, yung nominal shear strength. If the required shear strength daw is less than the available shear strength, hindi na kailangan ng transverse stiffeners. Okay. If we use KB is equal to 5. So, unahin muna natin to. Satisfy muna natin yan. Tignan natin kung kakailanganin ba or hindi. Okay. So, after the geometric properties, proceed na tayo sa check if transverse stiffeners is needed. Are needed. Okay. So, yung formula natin, if HL over TW is lesser than or equal to 2.46 square root of E all over Fy daw, hindi na kailangan ng transverse stiffeners. So, yung H natin dito is 527. Thickness of the web, 10.9. Is it lesser than 2.46 square root of 200,000? Fy natin, according to the problem, is 345. Ayan, 345 megapascal. So, divided by 345. Okay. So, 527. We have 48.35. And it is lesser than 59.23. Therefore, transverse stiffeners are not required. Therefore, transverse stiffeners are not required, and if there is no stiffeners, tension field action is not permitted. Okay. So, according to NSCP, transverse stiffeners are not required if na-satisfy itong given equation na to. So, if hindi kailangan ng transverse stiffeners, meaning walang mangyari na tension field action. As I have told you a while ago dun sa discussion natin, di ba? Yung transverse stiffeners or yung tension field action, nangyayari yan if meron tayong transverse stiffeners. But since yung ating section doesn't need transverse stiffeners, therefore, walang mangyayari na tension field action. Okay. So, ang gagamitin natin dito is the first method, which is the 507.2. Members with unstiffened or stiffened webs. Okay. So, for the nominal shear strength, we will use this formula. This section applies to webs of singly or doubly symmetric members and channels subject to shear in the plane of the web. So the nominal shear strength of unstiffened or stiffened webs, according to the limit state of shear yielding and shear buckling, is computed as follows. Okay. So Vn is equal to, or the nominal shear strength is equal to 0.6 multiplied by the yield strength. AW is the area of the web, but take note that the area of the web is computed as D multiplied by TW, to yan. And then CV, we have different formulas for CV also. Depende kung ano yung shape natin. So for webs of rolled I-shaped members, CV is equal to 1.0. And then next, for webs all other doubly symmetric shapes and singly blah 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 blah, CV is equal to 1.0. Tapos meron din tayo dito for other sections. Okay. So ang gagawin natin dyan, alam naman natin na yung section natin is a rolled I-shaped members. And then, compute muna natin to. If na-satisfy to, ito yung gagamitin nating value for CV. Okay? So, HL over TW must be less than or equal to 2.24. Okay, so tignan natin. Nominal shear strength na tayo. So, after checking if transverse stiffeners are needed, proceed na tayo dito sa nominal shear strength. Okay, on which the formula daw is Vn is equal to 0.6 Fy AWN CV. Okay, Fy natin is 345. So, tignan mo natin yung mga kailangan natin. 345 megapascal. AW is just depth multiplied by the thickness of the web. That is 602 multiplied by 10.9. Okay, therefore we have 6561. 6561.8 millimeter square. And then yung CV. What will be the value of CV? Again, yung CV natin can be determined by using these equations here. So, check muna natin. HL over TW. So, yung HL over TW, is it lesser than 2.24 of square root of E all over Fy? Okay. So, yung H natin, again, is equal to 527 divided by the thickness of the web. Compute na pala natin kanina. Sige, okay lang. 10.9. So, is it lesser than 2.24 square root of 200,000 divided by 345? So, this one is 48.35. And this one is equal to 53.93. Okay. So, na-satisfy. Since 48.35 is lesser than 53.93, pwede na natin gamitin yung mga sinabi dito. Ayan. So, yung phi natin or the resistance factor, 1.0. So, V is equal to 1.0. The safety factor or the omega is equal to 1.5. And then CV is equal to 1.0. Again, nasatisfy kasi ito yung equation na to, kaya pwede natin gamitin yung mga binanggit dito. Okay. Therefore, our Vn now or the nominal shear strength is equal to 0.6 multiplied by 345 Newton per square millimeter. Area of the web, we have 6561.8 square millimeter multiplied by CV, that is equal to 1.0. Therefore, the nominal shear strength is equal to 1358.29 kilonewton. Therefore, for the available shear strength under LRFD, we have phi, V, Vn. Ang phi na gagamitin natin dito is 1.0. We have 1.0 multiplied by the nominal shear strength. We have 1358.29. Therefore, we have 1358.29 kilonewton. And then for ASD, Vn divided by the omega, or the safety factor, V. So 1358.29 kilonewton divided by the given 1.5. So this is equal to 905.53 kilonewton. So these are now the available shear strength. So compare natin sa required. The required shear strength under LRFD is 1291, and then sa ASD we have 861. Okay, so obviously it is greater than 1291.2 kilonewton, and this one is greater than 861 kilonewton. So safe. Therefore, the section is adequate, no? The section is adequate. So, no need ng transverse stiffeners. So, hindi magbabuckle agad-agad yung beam natin. No need for transverse stiffeners. Walang mangyayari na tension field action. Okay. The section is adequate. Okay. Okay, ma'am. Nasabi nyo kanina na yung phi is equal to 0.9 and then yung omega is 1.67. So, ina-apply lang natin yung 0.9 tsaka 1.67 if yung section natin is not 507.2.1. Okay, yan. For all provisions in this section except section 507.2.1 number 1. So, ito yun. 507.2.1 number 1. The phi is equal to 0.9 and then the omega is equal to 1.67. So, itong part lang na to, yung may specific value ng phi v na 1.0 tsaka omega, that is 1.5. The other sections are now equal to 0.9 tsaka 1.67. Okay? So, proceed naman na tayo sa example number 3. Verify the available shear strength and adequacy of an ASTM 836 C380 by 50.4 channel with end shears of 80 kN from dead load and 230 kN from live load in the strong direction. Okay. Number 3. Oh, wait lang. There's a correction of the illustration. Hindi yan yung illustration nito. Wait lang. Parang nakopy na. So, yan. Nakopy na kopya. So, the illustration. Wait lang. Baguhin lang natin. Hindi. Sige, drawing ko na lang. Dito yung illustration niya, ha. This is from the last example. So, hindi ito yung gagamitin nating illustration. Kasi yung ating problem based on this statement is a C channel, no? Verify the available shear strength and adequacy of an ASTM A36 C380 by 50.4 with end shears of 80 kN from dead load and 30 kN. Okay, yung illustration niya is ganito. Meron daw tayong beam that is 6380. Tapos end shears, ibig sabihin nasa end yung mga tinutukoy, no? Actually, given dapat yung illustration natin dito. And ganito yung naging illustration. Okay. So, end shears, ibig sabihin nandito yon. End nga, di ba? End shears. So, yung dead load daw is equal to 80 kN. And then, yung live load is equal to 230 kN. End shears. Dead load, 80 kN. Live load, 230 kN. So, given yung shear diagram for this problem. Okay. Given to. End shears, live load to 230 kN. And then yung dead load, 80 kN. Okay. So, i-compute na natin yung required shear strength. Required shear strength. So, dito, wala na tayong magiging problema kasi binigay na niya mismo yung shear. Binigay na yung shear. So, ang gagawin lang natin is to compute for the shear strength under LRFT. So, magiging 1.2 of VD plus 1.6 of VL. Okay? So, again, yung mga load combinations natin are applicable on any type of loadings. Pwede din sa shear. That's why we have here VD plus 1.6 of VL. Okay? So, 1.2 of 80 plus 1.6 of 230. Therefore, we have 464 kilonewton. And then for ASD, VA, we have VD plus VL. Dead load, 80. Live load, 230. Therefore, we have 310 kilonewton. Okay, so these are now the required shear strength under LRFT. Tapos ito naman sa ASD. No? Okay. And then, hanapin natin yung geometric properties of C380 by 50.4. Okay, by opening your AISC, makikita nyo dyan yung geometric properties of C380 by 50.4. And then, nilista ko na kanina. Therefore, susulat ko na lang dito. Okay? So, D is equal to 381 millimeters, the overall depth. And then, width, we have 86.4. Thickness of the web, 10.2. H, we have 308 millimeter. Okay. So, this is now the geometric properties of this section. Okay. Again, i-clarify ko lang. Ang nagamit natin sa area of the web is the depth, not H. Because the depth will resist the shearing force, yung overall depth. So, what do we mean by that? We have a C-section. So, yung depth niya is ito, di ba? The depth is this one. Yung H niya is nandito, somewhere here. Sabi natin kanina, ang na-utilize sa shearing stress is the web. Supposedly, yung web, di ba? Pero ang kino-consider nating area is the area of the depth multiplied. Ito yung kino-consider natin, no? The depth multiplied by the thickness. Kasi nga, yung average. Di ba? Yung average. Pag HTW lang yung consider mo, di ang kino-consider mo lang yung web. What about yung shearing force na nanggagaling dun sa flange niya? Hindi mo na kinonsider. Wala na yung tinatawag nating average shearing force. So, para makuha mo yung average, di kunin mo pati na nasa flange, di ba? The D multiplied with thickness of the web. Okay? So, that is now the geometric property. Next. So, kagaya dun nung unang example natin, after computing for the required shearing stress, i-check naman natin if transverse stiffeners are needed para malaman natin kung ano yung section na gagamitin natin or yung method. Okay, so check the stiffeners or check if transverse stiffeners are needed. Stiffeners are needed. Kung kaya ba ng section natin na buhatin yung loading natin na 230 kN and 80 kN without transverse stiffeners. Kung kaya niya bang buhatin to nang hindi nagbabakel. Okay, so check natin. So again, punta tayo sa NSCP. And then, check natin. Wait lang, erase natin yung iba. Okay, and then check natin if transverse stiffeners are needed. So for this one, isa-satisfy natin to if this formula is satisfied, therefore no or not required yung transverse stiffeners natin. Okay. So bakit ito yung ginamit ko? Bakit 507.2? Because this section applies to webs of singly or doubly symmetric members and channel. Okay. Channel yung section natin. Kaya 506.2 yung ginamit ko. Okay. 507.2. Okay. So, compute natin. What is HL over TW? Is it lesser than ilan ulit? 2.46. 2.46 is square root of E all over Fy. H natin is 308. Thickness of the web, 10.2. Is it lesser than 2.46 is square root of 200,000 divided by 3? Oh, Fy natin guys is 250 based on the problem. Okay, so 250. Okay, so this one, 308 divided by 10.2 is equal to 30.20, and it is lesser than 69.58. Okay, therefore transverse stiffeners are not required. So, since walang transverse stiffeners, wala ring mangyayaring tension field action. Transverse stiffeners are not required. Also, tension field action is not permitted. Okay? It's not permitted. So, after that, since wala naman tayong any computation para sa transverse stiffeners kasi hindi naman kailangan, pwede na tayong mag-proceed sa nominal shear strength. Okay. For the nominal shear strength, again, nasa 507.2 tayo. 507.2. So, ito yun. For the nominal shear strength, okay, for webs of rolled I-shaped members, okay, so C-channel, yung section natin. So, C-channel. So, hindi applicable yan, of course. I-shape eh. Next, for webs of all other members, doubly symmetric shapes and singly symmetric shapes and channels, except round HSS, the web shear coefficient CV is determined as follows. Okay, nasa channel tayo. So, channel. Therefore, we will use this formula. So, meron tayong tatlong scenario. 1, 2, and 3. So, compute muna natin yung mga kailangan. So, na i-compute natin? HTW, 1.1, tsaka ito, 1.37. And then, whichever kung saan magfo-fall yung ating computation, yun yung gagamitin natin for CV. Okay? So, again, compute natin si HTW, 1.1, tapos si 1.37. Then, i-compare natin. Okay, so nasa 507.2 507.2.1 tapos number 2 kasi nasa channel. Okay. Nasa channel tayo. So, HL over TW, na-compute na natin kanina yun. Ito yun. So, we have 30.20. Tapos, 1.1 square root of KVE divided by moment of inertia. Ano yan? Modulus of elasticity pala. So, capital E. KV, modulus of elasticity, multiplied by or divided by Fy. Okay, ano naman yung KV dyan? So, the KV, tingnan natin dito. CV, yan. The web plate buckling coefficient KV is determined as follows. So, meron tayong formula for KV. Basahin mo natin yung A. For unstiffened webs with HL over TW lesser than 260, KV is equal to 5, except for the stem of T-shapes where KV is equal to 1.2. Okay. And then this one for stiffened webs. Okay. So, yung HL over TW daw natin must be lesser than 260 para magamit natin yung KV is equal to 5. Okay. So, yung ating web is unstiffened. No? Unstiffened webs tayo kasi hindi naman kailangan ng transverse stiffeners. Kaya ito yung gagamitin natin. Unstiffened webs. Diba na-compute natin kanina that we do not need any transverse stiffeners. Therefore, yung web natin is considered as unstiffened webs. So, HL over TW is it lesser than 260? Yes. Okay. Since HL over TW is lesser than 260, KV is equal to, ano yan? KV is equal to 5. So, the value of KV is equal to 5. Okay, so substitute natin. So, we have 1.1 square root of 5 modulus of elasticity, 200,000 divided by 250. So, this is equal to 69.57. Okay, so ito yung value ng HL over TW natin. Ito naman yung 1.1. Okay, so dito, kahit hindi na natin i-compute yung isa, yung 1.37, kasi nakikita ko na dito siya magfo-fall. Ayan, no. Ayan ba yung HL over TW natin? 30.2. Yung 1.1, 69.57. O, dito palang pasok na siya. Diba? So, no need to compute for the 1.37 something. Okay, so gagamitin natin yung A. So, since HL over TW is lesser than 1.1 square root of KV all over Fy, CV is equal to 1.0. CV is equal to 1.0. Okay. Therefore, our Vn now is equal to 0.6 Fy AW CV. So, yung nominal shear strength natin is computed by this formula. Nasa NSCP. Vn is equal to 0.6 Fy area of the web and then CV. Okay, so we have 0.6 of 250 Newton per square millimeter. Area of the web is depth multiplied by the thickness of the web. So the depth is equal to 381. Thickness of the web is 10.2. And then CV is 1.0. Therefore, the nominal shear strength is equal to 582 times 10 raised to 3 Newton or 582.93 kilonewton. Okay. So now, computing for the available shear strength. So for LRFD, we have PV, Vn. Okay, ano nang gagamitin nating PV dito? So, ang PV na gagamitin na natin dito is 0.9. Hindi natin pwedeng gamitin to. Kasi this is solely for number 1. Since nasa number 2 na tayo, the phi now, or the resistance factor is equal to 0.9. And then, yung omega natin is 1.67. Okay. So, we have 0.9 multiplied by 582.93. So we have 524.64 kilonewton. And then for ASD, we have Vn divided by the omega. So we have 582.93 divided by 1.67. So we have 349.06 kilonewton. So this is now the available shear strength. So compare na natin siya sa required shear strength. So we have 464 tsaka 310. So obviously greater, di ba? So it is greater than 464 and then it is also greater than 310. Therefore, safe yung ating section for adequate yung ating section to carry those shear forces. Therefore, the section is adequate. Okay? The section is adequate.